Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of 3 Points with Carroll College. We've got a doubleheader today ahead of the Frontier Tournament this weekend. I'm here first with Coach Sayers. Coach, how are we feeling?
Feel good. Ready to go. Round 4, I guess.
Yeah, round 4 is right. You got to face teams for the 4th time this year. But first things first, we won't spend too much time on it because we are looking forward to the Frontier Tournament. But we can look back on the season a little bit. Y'all came in as the number 1 team voted in, but and you talked about all year how you didn't feel like you had to earn that, but you did earn the regular season championship this last weekend, in a win against MSU Northern. I guess just how did that feel?
Well, it was kind of different for us. You know, in the past, it always came down to that last game or last weekend, and to be able to go into the last 3 games knowing that we'd already secured the 1 seed. We got to really focus on ourselves and how we wanted to get better and how we wanted to continue to play. And so it was nice to see the players just relax and know the pressure was off. They'd done their job, but also knowing that we still wanted to play our best basketball. We still want to keep getting better, and they continue to do that.
For sure, and then you talked about your players got to relax in that game against MSU Northern. Seemed like a great example of them kind of just going out there and doing their own thing. And just one more thing to look back on, the seniors. Obviously, you can't really talk enough about this senior class between Jamie Pickens and Maddie Garrett and Erica Ness, and mainly the 3 seniors who decided to return for a 5th year. But just what have they brought to this program, and what's this last year kind of? It's kind of a big question, but what's this last year kind of been like with them so far?
Well, they've brought a great excitement and joy and love to the program. Their energy and their excitement, they keep it light and fresh. There's rarely a dull moment in practice, but when it's time to get out there and perform, obviously they're extremely experienced and they understand what needs to be done. And so their leadership and their ability to really rally the troops and keep everybody focused and excited to come to work every day has been great.
For sure, and they've also been on the show, so anyone go back and check out those. But some great players, and they were great on the show. But now looking forward to our second point, obviously Frontier Tournament. Obviously not your first rodeo. You've been there before, but just what do you have to do to just kind of get your team ready for a tournament like it? Obviously, you have to play a team for a 4th time, which is pretty unique at any level of college basketball. It's up in Great Falls, obviously a neutral site like you see with a lot of conference tournaments around the country. But just what do you have to get your team to get your team ready to go up there?
Well, I think the hardest part is not knowing who you're getting ready for, and so the focus this week has been kind of cleaning up some areas that we weren't doing very well. Looking back on the past films of all the opponents we could play and kind of working in some of their stuff and make sure we're set on that and then just really focusing on ourselves, continuing to make progress. I think I thought the last 2 weeks we made huge progress. I think especially at this time in the year to feel like you're still getting better is a great sign, and I feel like we made strides and those last 2 weeks, it really showed that this team has not reached its peak yet, which is exciting.
Definitely, and yeah, you're right. Your team kind of did speed up at the end of the season, had that big win against Providence to kind of win your season series and help you secure that 1st overall seed. But as you said, you never really know who you're going to play. You'll play the first game on a Friday. You'll play the winner of MSU Northern and Rocky, I believe.
Or if Tech were to upset Western, we would play Tech.
So my apologies.
We're going to play
you can play anyone.
The lowest remaining seed.
Okay.
We just know we won't play Providence and we won't play Western on Friday.
Okay, so any of those 3 teams that aren't Western and Providence, and then the final day, as that goes, you could really play any team too that you haven't already played. So it will be pretty exciting to see how that play out. Just for you, obviously being able to coach a lot of Frontier tournaments, I guess just how fun is the Frontier Tournament for someone who's kind of never really been there before?
Well, I think the excitement is a little bit different now that it's at a neutral site where both men's and women's teams are competing. So having our men play at 3 and we play at 5, it's great for our fans, great for people that just want to watch a lot of basketball, where in the past we were at the higher seed site, so your women could be at home and your men could be on the road or playing different nights, and so it made it hard for fans to be able to follow both. So I think that part is exciting. Being able to get that tournament experience before the national tournament is always good, to be able to play we play a lot of classics during the year where you already know who you're going to play, but getting yourself in that right mindset of a tournament setting that, winners go on. And so winning that first game is huge, and then you got to turn around and prepare for whoever that opponent may be. So I think having an experienced team that's been through this in the Frontier Conference, in this setting, also been through it at the national tournament, will really help us.
For sure, and once again, Friday's your first game, and you'll play the lowest overall seed. Whoever wins out of the first round, lowest overall seed, and then Saturday, if you make it through there, will be the championship game. And then moving into our final point, we're all ready to go for the Frontier Conference. So let's say I don't condone crime ever unless it's in a hypothetical. You're gonna do an art heist with your team, maybe, or a few players in your team. And of course, you're the coach, so you have to be the one who's kind of like in the kind of the boss, who's in the van calling things out with the screens. But you need maybe one or two of your players to be the people in the museum. They're stealing like a Da Vinci or a Van Gogh, something real nice. So who on your team do you think would make a really good art thief, like in a classic movie?
Oh, geez. Well, Erica is super sneaky, and she's fast, and she's very unassuming. So I think Erica wouldn't, nobody would target her as an art thief. I'd say Erica, she could run in there, probably get it out of there pretty quick. Maddie is the most mischievous on our team, so she would nominate herself to be involved in that for sure. And then Jamie wouldn't let Maddie go in alone. So I think I would put our three seniors up to that. We'd have Erica's quickness and smarts, and then the other two would most definitely get caught, but they would be the ones wanting to be in on the action.
Awesome, yeah, all three seniors, and if you're doing it in Montana, it's going to be hard for Jamie. Could even maybe be a decoy.
Yeah, she could be.
Name very noteworthy on the state, and Frontier Awards are coming out soon. National Awards are coming out soon, but we're focused on the Frontier Tournament. We'll get a chance to talk about that later on. But thanks for joining me, Coach Sayers, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone, to the second leg of a doubleheader episode of 3 Points, talking to both Carroll College head basketball coaches. I'm here now with Coach Lundgren. Coach, how are we feeling?
Feeling good. Getting ready for Friday's game. We get to get up there tomorrow and watch the other teams and kind of get a feel, get checked in, get relaxed, and get ready to go for what will definitely be another tough test in the Frontier.
Of course, and always fun on the Frontier, and we'll look back a little bit for the first point, but not too much, because obviously we're looking ahead to the conference tournament. But you did finish your first ever regular season as the head coach here at Carroll College. Just how'd you feel like everything went? You finished with the number 2 seed in the Frontier Conference.
Well, it went good. Obviously, when you can finish 12-3 and get that first round bye, and we swept everyone in the league aside from Tech, which is not an easy feat given how much talent's in this league. So, you have to feel good about it, but it's like the message I told the guys yesterday. It doesn't, we might as well be picked to finish 5th again because everybody's 0-0, just like we were on November 1st. So we can't bask in the glory for too long. We have to keep that edge that we've had that's gotten us to where we are now. And we have to, go into Friday's game with that same mentality.
For sure. And then just real quickly, you're going to look back. Obviously, I think we'll probably do one more episode once the year's just to look back on the year. So not looking too far ahead. But one guy, obviously, I'm sure you've been asked about a million times, Andrew Cook. I'm not going to ask you about how good he is. But one thing I was curious about, just obviously, if we're going to look back, when you first came in, or you kind of came into a program where you can bring in your own transfers, but a lot of guys aren't guys you recruited this year. And Andrew Cook was someone who made a huge jump as a sophomore, a guy who more than willing probably could have went to a lot of programs, and they would have liked him at different levels of college basketball. But you're able to keep him. I was just kind of curious, what were those original conversations like with Andrew Cook? I can imagine as you telling him you could do what you have kind of done this year and be successful in the Frontier, but kind of what was it like when you first came in and talked to him?
Well, he was on the interview committee. So it starts there. You build that relationship early on. And him and Guy Pedro were both part of the interview process, so they kind of had a say in who the next coach was, and they kind of were the voice of the players. So I got to know him a little bit through that. We had some common connections. I didn't know him directly, but just, my last boss at CSI coached in the same league and coached against Andrew in the Trinity League, which is a great Catholic school league down in Southern California. And so some common connections there. But my early conversations with him once I got the job were just finding ways to help him take the next step and getting his input on not only guys that we were signing, but things that he felt that the program needed to do better, or things that had been done in the past that he wanted to continue or the team wanted to continue. And so he had a really big say in a lot of the things that we did. And obviously you're seeing why, not just statistically what he does, but he's a leader in the locker room and he's got the respect of his peers. And he's really the voice of a lot of our guys. So, you hit it on the head. I mean, he could have gone a lot of different places. I know there were a lot of people that were, when I took the job, I probably had 5 California D2s call me and say, hey, are you going to keep Andrew Cook? So, I mean, those conversations were going on, and we're real fortunate to keep him, because a lot of times with coaching staff changes, you see a lot of changes like we did see when I took this job. A lot of guys did leave, and that happens. But, Andrew absolutely loves Carroll, and more than just as a basketball player, but he loves the school, the professors, the administrators. And he's a great ambassador for our college, and so that was a big reason why he stayed.
Definitely, and as you said, helping him take the next jump, and as I kind of alluded to, he did. He's got his 4th Player of the Week honor this last week, and no doubt for the all-conference team. But as we head in, second point, you got the team, you got the record, 2nd seed, but you talked about it a little bit, but the Frontier Tournament, you'll play the out of the first round games that happen tomorrow and Thursday, you'll play the highest seed of whoever wins in the bracket. That's weird figuring that out with Coach Sayre. She gets the lowest seed on her side of things, but as a 2 seed, you get the highest seed. So it's hard to know different teams, but just how are you getting your team ready for that?
Well, it's the nice thing is this, if you're going to take a percentage chance, you're probably saying we're going to either play Providence or Western. Just percentage-wise. We can't play Rocky. That's the one school we can't play, because if them and Northern won, Rocky would play Tech. So we just played Northern, so it's fresh in our mind prep-wise. We really look at kind of Providence and Western and just kind of focus on a couple of their main actions and some adjustments and whatnot. But really this week we're focusing on us more than anything, because we know it could very well be Northern. They've played really well, and they've lost a lot of close games, but they've proven they can beat anybody. And so, we're prepping for everybody, but at the same time, we're really trying to make ourselves better and tighten up some of the things that we feel like are going to be important in a tournament style play. So, keeping them healthy, getting a lot of shots, making sure they feel good. And just tightening down the screws on some things that we feel like we need to keep improving for the postseason.
For sure, and then I talked to you a little bit before this. Obviously, the tournament's at a neutral site. You've had experience being around neutral site tournaments, and you've also been around home host tournaments. But just how are you going to get your team ready for that environment where it's a little different than a home site tournament where you might have more fans for the top seed? But how are you going to get your team ready for that up there at the Four Seasons Arena?
Well, just the same prep we always do. I guess the one thing that's a little different is, tomorrow, because we don't play and we have the bye, we only get 45 minutes on the floor, and it's at 9 a.m. So we have to get out of here pretty early tomorrow just so we can get that time on that floor before the game where we can get some shots up. And, the last spot I coached at, CSI, we had a bye 2 out of the 3 years I was there when we made the national tournament. And as the bye team, we lost both years, got upset. And, obviously there's a million reasons why that happens, whether it be matchups or you don't play well, whatever. But, one of the things is it's great to have the bye and you take it every time, but those teams that play before, they've already had success and won a game on that court. And as a bye team, you haven't done that yet, so it's kind of your first go. And so, unlike the national tournament and national junior college, we could never get on the main court to get a shoot-around. So this is good that the arena in Great Falls is allowing us at least 45 minutes. We can get out there and get a feel for it and get shots up. And so we're going to utilize that, get up there early, have a 45-minute shoot-around, get checked into the hotel as early as we can, and then, go back and watch some of the men's games, obviously, and take the evening and kind of relax. We'll know by then who we're playing, so we'll, watch film. I mean, once we've played people 3 times, we know what to expect no matter who we're playing. So at that point, it's just minor adjustments and refreshing on things, and then get a good night's sleep, be able to relax, and then let it rip on Friday at 3 o'clock. So we'll be ready to go.
For sure, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, no one's going to bring on a new player we haven't seen yet in the Frontier Conference. We got obviously played every team 3 times already now, but that is interesting with being able to shoot around on their court. That's nice, something you did.
It is.
National tournament, so that'll be fun. And then looking third point as always, same one with Coach Sayers. So let's say you need to, in this scenario, I would never condemn anything illegal. You need to pull off an art heist, and obviously you're the coach, so you're the one in like a van that's calling out the signals to your guys, just like you are a coach on the sideline. You need maybe 1 or 2 of your players or a couple of players on the team to help pull off a heist. You're trying to get a nice piece of art like in a spy movie or something. Who would you want with you in the control room to get some art?
I don't think any of these guys would do that. They're such great kids. But I'll tell you one guy and I'm not even saying this because I think he's mischievous, but he's quiet, but he's a really intelligent kid. And I'd say Derek Kramer. I could see him being kind of sneaky and sliding in there and getting what he needs and kind of doing it under the radar because no one would be suspecting of him. But again, like I have a great group of kids. I can't see them pulling off a heist in any scenario. But if you're putting a gun to my head and telling me I got to pick, I'm saying Derek Kramer. So.
Yeah, that's a lot of my hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Kind of gun to the head deals.
Yeah.
But well, that's great. And yeah, Derek has been someone who down the stretch has made some big strides for this team. It's been really fun to watch him.
Yeah.
It'll be exciting to watch him in the tournament. Coach, thanks for coming on, and good luck and great falls this week.
Thanks, Jack. Appreciate it.